Welcome to Punky's Pro Wrestling. Told you I didn't know when the next time I would see you was. And actually, I do. Because in a couple of weeks, Dark Side of the Ring starts and I do my reviews. Depending on whether, if I have surgery that day, I may not do the review until another time. But, that being said, I don't know when my surgery date will be. I'll know that tomorrow for my oral surgery. I just want to get it over with already. I don't want it to have to take too long. You know, it's thinking about it. But I do have questions for him tomorrow. And the 12th, I don't want them to say I need a bunch more teeth out. I don't want that. These three right here. The two broken ones and the one next to it, and maybe one that's cracked down here. That's it. That's what I'm praying for. But anyway, back to the reason that we're here on this channel. And that is because a new movie is premiering March 7th, this Friday. And it is called Queen of the Ring. And it is based on the life of Mildred Burke. Mildred Burke was an absolute pioneer in women's wrestling. Without her, women wouldn't be wrestling in Madison Square Garden. They wouldn't be in main events. Any of it. She is the one that pioneered it. Along with Johnny Mae Young and a few others. I think you can see the evolution of women's wrestling from her as the powerhouse no nonsense athlete to when she passed the torch to the fabulous Moolah, who ushered in a little more of a sports entertainment feel to women's wrestling, more character driven. You know, kind of women's wrestling. And from there, it went to, you know, still good women's wrestling, but with a little more character. You know, as Moolah progressed and other girls came along, then it went to the Divas, which was all looks, and a few could wrestle. And that sort of pushed it along. The ones that could wrestle, the ones that could do what, you know, they needed to do, like Trish Stratus and Lita, and, you know, they pushed it along into, again, a more athletic time. And now it's come full circle, and it's very athletic. They're beautiful, and they're tough. So I think that without Mildred Burke, we wouldn't be where we are. And Naomi will be playing the first black pioneering female wrestler. Well, they were a trio of sisters, actually, 3 sisters, who opened the door, or busted it down, for black women in wrestling. And interestingly, Jim Cornette is going to be portraying Sam Mushnick, which is crazy to think of, but I'm sure Jimmy had fun with it. It'll be interesting because Sam was a Midwest promoter, so he wasn't a Southern boy, and Jim Cornette is a Southern boy. So it'll be interesting to see how he speaks, if he just speaks like himself, or if they actually taught him to talk, or how much he actually is in it, because I really don't know. For those of you unfamiliar with Mildred Burke, Mildred Burke started wrestling in the late 30s, early 40s. She worked with promoter Billy Wolf, who later became her husband, and they basically ran the company. She trained the girls because she was it. She was the best at the time, and she was the women's champion until she passed the torch to the fabulous Moolah, who held it for 28 years. Excuse me. Partly the reason that Moolah held the title for 28 years was because there were no matches for the title. There was very little women's wrestling during that period when she was champion, and anytime she wrestled somebody for the title, she just won because she was it. And so yeah, it's trying to think here. It is, like I said, until the 80s, she didn't really have any competition. Mildred Burke passed away. Well, obviously, so has Moolah. And Johnny Mae Young, by the way, is going to be portrayed in it as well. She was also a pioneer. Let me grab, I'll use my phone to do this. I believe Mildred Burke passed away in 1979 because I studied her because she was all of it for me, you know, all that in a bag of chips. Mildred Burke. No, 1989. My apologies. She started in the 30s. She was born the day after me, August 5th. Okay, she was 73. She died of a stroke. And Mildred was a single mother to a son, which I did not know, which was unheard of back then, you know, and for decades to come, for a female wrestler to be a mom and still be wrestling. Today, it's common. A lot of the female wrestlers are moms. They have their baby, they're away for a year or so, and they come back. Women's pro wrestling was illegal so many places. And this is the picture of Mildred Burke. Well, of the young lady playing. Whoops. Come on. Of the young lady playing Mildred Burke. I am. I am looking forward to this. Last year, it actually. Um, Pretty awesome. And I wanted to share it with you guys as soon as I saw the trailer earlier today. Because even though they never said the name, I knew who it was. Because, like I said, she was a complete and total hero to me. You know, as a female wrestling fan, and like I said, the three sisters, the three African American sisters, I can't believe I didn't know about them. So I want to see it so bad. It's been through the film festival circuit last fall. Again, I had no earthly idea. The Von Erichs I followed through casting, through filming, through everything to the premiere. This one I had no earthly clue, or I would have been doing the same thing because it's awesome. There are some other wrestling movies coming up as well. I guess A24, the same company that did the Von Erichs, is doing one on Hogan. That ought to be interesting. I have heard that one of the Hemsworths, I had heard a while ago that one of the Hemsworths might be playing Hogan in the movie. Because I knew for a while that that was coming out. So, that might be interesting to watch. There's another one coming out too. I don't remember, but I know A24 wants to make more because they're not the ones that made the Mildred Burke one, but they were very successful with the Von Erich one, way more successful than anybody thought possible. I mean, was it a, you know, hundreds of millions of dollar blockbuster? No, but it was much more successful than anybody thought possible. So, um, and who knows, one about Hogan may be even more, you know. They're the ones that should take on Roddy Piper. I know that he started working on a biopic of his life um, called Villain, and Roddy Piper did. And I think they can incorporate some of that into it. And the poster for it, creepy. It's a darkened picture of Roddy with blood running, which would be a great poster for a horror movie, maybe. But they might have to change that a little bit. But that was the the first like promo picture for it, and it had its own I almost said YouTube Facebook page. So it's definitely something that they could do. You know, you would want them to have, you know, the family's permission, obviously. And the family was on board with the movie because Roddy was doing it. So, and of all the wrestlers who turned actor, I mean, obviously, The Rock has had the most box office success. And I can't say he's not a good actor. He is. I think Roddy was probably the best, in my opinion. His versatility, comedy, drama, action. He did all of it. So, yeah. Hopefully I can see that movie soon, and I will bring you a review of it as soon as I'm able to see it. In the meantime, guys, watch Lipstick and Dynamite, Piss and Vinegar, which is the story of the old-time women's wrestling. It's quite a documentary. I highly recommend it, and I will link it in the description. Like I said, Lipstick and Dynamite, Piss and Vinegar. So, it'll be interesting once it comes out to hear Jim Cornette's point of view on his podcast and stuff. If he even talks about it, which he probably will. I mean, she went up to Vince McMahon saying, Mr. McMahon, what would it take? I mean, it was like, you know, I didn't know about that until I saw the trailer. Anyway, guys, it's been a long video for us. Not a long video, but one for this channel. Excuse me. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you at the end of the month for the first review of Dark Side of the Ring this season. Bye, guys. Remember to subscribe to all 3 channels. Thank you for getting me almost to 2 digits on this channel. My mind was blown. I had 1 for so long and now I have 9. That's insane. I know to most people that's not a big deal, but that's a huge jump for me. So, and we have 445 on Kid Missing and 244 on Monkey's World. So, please subscribe. I will see you, like I said, at the end of the month. Bye, guys.